Hello and welcome to the Chapter 6 review game, where we will be playing a game I like to call Math Man. Oh yeah. To play Math Man, first of all, you're going to need to take out a blank sheet of paper. Anytime you play a game in my class, you get extra credit, so make sure to label this paper as the Math Man review game. On your sheet of paper, you need to make a 4x4 grid with A, B, C, D going down and 1, 2, 3, 4 going across. Go ahead and pause the video and create your grid now. Okay, hopefully you got your grid made. Now it's time to fill the grid with a couple things. First thing that you're going to do is you need to fill in wherever you feel is lucky. You need to find one of these squares, a lucky square, and draw one Math Man. Oh yeah, Math Man. I always give him an MM like a crown, but you need to pick a spot and put a Math Man inside one of these squares. If by chance today we land on Math Man, you are going to score yourself 100 points. That's not extra credit points, that's just points for the game. So you need one of those. Place your Math Man now. Okay, now you need one Math Woman. I always give her hair. Ooh, Math Woman, Math Woman. You can give her an MW if you want, an MW crown. You need one Math Woman. She is also worth 100 points during the game. Go ahead and place her in your square now. Now you need to place two bombs. Oh yeah, bombs. You can put Acme in the middle of it. Acme. Anytime you land on a bomb during this game, you go to 0. Oh. So you need one Math Man. I don't know, maybe you put it here, that's fine. One Math Woman, that's fine, maybe you put it there. And then you need two bombs, okay? So Math Man, Math Woman, and two bombs. I don't care where you put it. Don't put it where I put it. You need to put it wherever you want. One Math Man, one Math Woman, and two bombs. Okay, now that you've got that, you need to find 4 places to put the number pi. Oh yeah, pi is so yummy. You need 4 pies in the game. Anytime you land on a pi, you are going to pick up 20 points. Oh yeah, 20 points. Cashing in. So place your 4 pies now. And after that, you need to put 4 dead fish. Why dead fish? I don't know. It's the only thing I know how to draw. So 4 dead fish. You need 4 dead fish in your game board. That's going to be minus 20 points if you land on a dead fish. Go ahead and put those in your grid now. Okay, you also need a double bubble. I always do it like the bubble gum. I don't know, times 2. And make it like the bubble gum wrapper. I don't know, you know, double bubbles. You need a double bubble somewhere, just one of those, one double bubble. If you land on that, it's going to times your score by 2. Place that out in the board somewhere. You also need one reverse. Oh man, reverses times your score by -1. So place one reverse out on your board as well. If you're falling behind, pause the video, get caught up, because we want you to have a full grid by the time we play the game. You should have 2 spots left, and these last 2 spots, what I'd like you to do is just write die. Oh, kind of brutal, sounds a little horrible. We've been killing fractions and making the denominators die in this chapter, and so I just want you to write die. If you land on die during this game, I'm going to roll my 20-sided die. Oh yeah, a little D&D, and I'm going to just times that score by 10, and that's how many points you're going to get. So hopefully it's good. It could be bad rolls, could be good rolls. I have no idea. Let's see what happens. So this is how the game works. On your sheet of paper, you need to kind of create a little spot over on the side that says score. And underneath that, put a 0, because everybody starts at 0. And then as we play the game, you're going to work on answering the math question right. Try it on your own. You'll pause the video and then I'll solve it. And make sure you get it right. If you don't get my answer, make sure to fix yours so that you understand it. I'll then pick a letter and a number, and you will get points in that category. It doesn't matter if you get the math right or wrong. Everyone gets the points, and we'll see how it goes. We're going to do 10 rounds, so 10 math questions, and we'll see who's got the most points and who's got the least points. Might have some people in the negatives. That'll be fun as we go along. And then you will submit this to get your extra credit. So let's find out how it goes. Let's get started with Mathman. Oh yeah. Here is question number 1. Go ahead and work on this problem. It is to simplify the rational function x squared minus 3x minus 10 all over x squared minus 4. Pause the video now, and once you're done, unpause it. Let's see if you get it right, and then we'll award you points in Mathman. Good luck. Okay, so whenever we simplify a rational function, the first thing you should do is factor everything. We've got to factor everything. So let's factor the top. It's a 3-term polynomial, so we're doing the AC rule. Factors of -10 that get me -3. Looks to me like that's going to be 5 and 2, but the 5 has to be negative to be able to get a -3 out of this. So it's x minus 5 and x plus 2 on top. On bottom, it's a perfect square. We can factor that using square roots. Square root of x squared is just x and x. Square root of 4 is 2 and 2. 1 plus, 1 minus. To complete simplification, we just need to cancel anything that's like term on top with a like term or like factor on bottom. So we've got x squared, those cancel out, and our final answer is x minus 5 over x minus 2, and that's all that happens on that one. How'd you do? Okay, it's time to find out how many points you earned. Whether you got it right or not, you get the points. Here we go. Let's take a look. Okay, so I pulled a number and a letter out of my hat, and the answer, the points that you're going to get, are in B4. B4, right here. Whatever you have in B4, ding, it's going to be how many points you got. So either add or subtract that to 0. So whatever you had there, you're at 0 points right now. So if you got a times by -1, you're still at 0. If you landed on Mathman, you just got 100 points. Oh yeah! Now if you landed on the die, I'm rolling my D20 right now. If you had B4 and you wrote down die on B4, you are going to get 160 points. Oh yeah, boy! 160! Add 160 points to your score. Let's go to question number 2. Question number 2 on the celebration of knowledge is going to ask you about the domain of a rational function. So that's what you got to work on right now. Go ahead and pause the video and see if you can find the domain of this function, 5x plus 3 all over x plus 7. Good luck. Okay, how'd you do? Let's take a look. Anytime you want to find the domain, we're looking for the value that would cause it to have a 0 in the denominator. Because if you have a 0 in the denominator, that causes a kaboom. So we're going to go x plus 7 equals 0. I'm setting the bottom equal to 0, and I'm solving. And so I get x equals -7. So I know that I cannot have a -7 in this function because it would cause a 0. So a couple ways you could write this. You could just write x cannot equal -7. That's a good way of writing it. Some of you might have written it in, you could have written all real numbers except -7. That's cool. Or you could have written it in interval notation, -∞ to -7, union -7 to infinity. All of these are great ways to write it. We just know that -7 is not in our domain. You cannot plug a -7 into that function. Okay, I'm pulling a letter and a number out. Let's take a look. Wow, I cannot believe it. I just picked a letter and a number out, and I can't, the number was the same. It's a 4 again. This time I picked D4. Oh yeah, D4. I bet a lot of you had a bomb. Everybody always puts bombs in D4. Kaboom to you guys. Hopefully you didn't have a bomb there. Whatever you have in D4, go ahead and add it to your score. And if by chance you had a die, let's see what the 20-sided die says for you. Whoa, 11, that means 110 points. 110 points if you had the die. Oh, that's a lot of points. Nice work. Let's go to the next question. Okay, here's question number 3. Go ahead and take some time to work on this one. You need to multiply these two rational functions together. Multiply them together. Good luck. Go ahead and pause the video now. And when you're ready to check your answer, unpause it. We'll see how you did. Good luck. Okay, welcome back. We're multiplying rational functions. When you do that, step number 1 is to factor everything. I'm hoping you did that. We need to factor everything. In fact, if you didn't do that, pause the video now and do it. because you need to factor all parts. I'm going to factor this one first. This is a 3-term polynomial. I've got to do the AC rule. AC rule, 3 times 6 is 18. Factors of 18 that get me 11. There's 6 and 3, that doesn't work. Ooh, 9 and 2 is going to work though. So I then rewrite the polynomial, 3x squared plus 9x plus 2x plus 6. We're going to chainsaw this. I get 3x over here with an x plus 3, take out a 2, and I'm left with an x plus 3. So this one right here factors to 3x plus 2 and an x plus 3. Excellent. Let's go ahead and factor down here. This is a 2-term polynomial. It looks like it's got some common stuff. I'm going to take out the x. That leaves me with 9x squared minus 4. That's a perfect square. Let's use square roots. I square root this to get 3x, 3x. I square root the 4 to get 2 and 2 with 1 plus and 1 minus. Nothing factors over here, just left with x squared. This is a perfect cube. You will have to know how to factor a perfect cube for the test. We take the cube root of this, and then do first times first is first, last times last is last, first times last is middle. Isn't this a blast? First time stays the same. X sign switch, last sign's always plus. Okay, so I went ahead and factored everything. Now I need to cancel anything on top with anything on bottom. Let's see, this 3x plus 2, oh yeah, that's gone. This x plus 3, oh yeah, whoosh. This x with one of the x squareds, yep, whoosh, whoosh. And so our final answer should be just this one x is on top. That's all that's left there. And then on bottom, it's this 3x minus 2 and the x squared minus 3x plus 9. That's the answer to number 3. How'd you do? Go back through and make sure you got that right. Once you got it right, you're going to unpause the video and we're going to see how many points you got. Let's take a look. Oh boy, just made the pick. I pulled out one letter and it was lucky letter A, and the box is 2, A2. Whatever you have in A2, add or subtract it to your score. If you landed on a double bubble, that's times 2 your score. If you were like negative 20 and you got a double bubble, you'd be at negative 40 now. That kind of stinks. And this negative 1, this is one of the scariest things. It times your score by negative 1. So if you're at like 400, you all of a sudden go to negative 400. If you had a die in A2, you were going to add 50 points to your score. I rolled a 5. You are going to get 50 points. That's it. Okay. It's time for question number 4. It's a solving question. So go ahead and pause your video now and work on solving 2 over x plus 7 equals negative 3 over x plus 1. Good luck. Welcome back. Okay, we're working on this solving question here. Anytime we solve, step number 1 is going to be to multiply by the common denominator. Multiply by common denominator. Multiply by common denominator. So we should say, ooh, I'm going to multiply by x plus 7, x minus 1. And over here, we're going to multiply x plus 7, x minus 1. Okay, good. The next step then is to kill the denominators. Kill the deno. Oh, yeah. So x plus 7 dies. I'm left with 2, x minus 1, equals, here the x minus 1's die, and I'm left with negative 3, x plus 7. After killing the denominator, we just need to finish solving. So let's take the 2 in. I get 2x minus 2 equals negative 3x minus 21. I'm going to go ahead and add the 3x over, plus 3x plus 3x. That gets me 5x minus 2 equals negative 21. And we add 2 plus 2 plus 2. That gets me 5x equals negative 19. So our last step then is just to divide by 5. And so our final answer is negative 19 over 5. Okay, hopefully you got that right. I have picked out a letter and a number, and the letter is A. Ooh, I can't wait to tell you the number. It's A4, A4. Whatever you got in A4, add that onto your score now or subtract it. And if by chance you wrote die right there, D-I-E, that means you're going to get some bonus points for my 20-sided die. Let's take a look. I rolled a 7. That means you add 70 points to your score. 70. Oh, yeah. I kind of like this die. category. I hope you're landing on it a couple times. You can pick up some mad points with that one. Okay, let's go to the next question. It's time to go back and simplify this, do a simplification one. Here's 5x minus 20 all over 8 minus 2x. Go ahead and pause the video now and simplify this fraction. Let's see if you can simplify it. Good luck. Okay, welcome back. Let's see what you did. First thing we're going to have to do is factor everything. Let's factor the top. If we factor the top, we can take out a 5. Take out a 5. I'm left with x minus 4. On the bottom, let's take out a 2. That would leave me with 4 minus x. Okay, that looks cool. Ooh, look at this. X minus 4 and 4 minus x. Do you remember this rule? Remember, anytime that you have these exactly opposite, then it actually simplifies to the hidden -1. Remember that? We could actually take out a negative out of the bottom. And that would make this, if I pulled a negative out of this, I'd be left with -4. And if I took negative out of this, I'd be left with x. So I put the negative on the outside, and look what happens. These now cancel, and I'm left with the final answer of just -5/2. Remember, be looking for the -1, the hidden -1 rule. The hidden -1 rule was whenever you have x minus a number all over the number minus x, that actually equals -1. We learned that in our first lesson in section 6.1. So be looking for that. That might happen on our celebration of knowledge. Actually, here's a hint. It will happen on the celebration of knowledge. Okay, let's get you some points for that one. I have picked a letter and a number out of the hat, and this time it came out to be C2. C2. Hopefully you had something good in C2. Oh, I hear somebody yelling out Math Man. Nice work to you. 100 points if you got Math Man. Excellent. Let's get him some points. If you put die right there, you're going to pick up, let's see what I get on my D20. 3. Oh, that's only 30 points. That's not that great. Oh, bummer. Okay. Well, good. Hopefully you're keeping your score there. Hopefully you didn't get a bomb. If you got a bomb, you're at 0. Ooh, how many people are in negatives? Oh, that's all right. We'll get you out. Here we go. Let's go to question 6. It's time to graph a rational function. Oh, man. Yep. Time to graph it. Let's see what you remember about graphing. Go ahead and pause the video now and give this a shot, and then unpause the video, and we'll see how you did. Okay, the first thing you got to do when graphing, we said, step number 1, is to find the vertical asymptote. Find the VA, the place where you're going to get 0 in the denominator. So if I set x minus 2 equal to 0, I get x equals 2. That is the vertical asymptote. So if I go over here to 2, 1, 2, right here is where my vertical asymptote is. In step number 2, we said that you're going to draw a table, x, y, and pick some values on the left and some values on the right of the vertical asymptote. So let's do that. Let's pick x, y. I'm going to pick 2 values. I'm going to pick 0 and 1, and then I'm going to pick 3 and 4. 2 values to the left, 2 values to the right. If I plug 0 in, I get -1. If I plug 1 in, if I plug 0 in, I get -1. If I plug 1 in, I get 1 minus 2, that's -2. If I plug 3 in, 3 minus 2 is 1, I get 2. And if I plug 4 in, I get 1. And so if we were to graph that, 0, -1 is here, and 1, -2 is here. And then 3, 2 is here, and 4, 1 is here. And so this is going to look something like this. There it is. There it is. Hopefully you got something like that. The mother function always has that shape. It's very critical that you're able to find the vertical asymptote. There's a couple questions on the test, even the graphing one. If you can just find the vertical asymptote, you'll be able to identify which one it is on the graph. So set that bottom equal to 0 to find your vertical asymptote. Okay, let's get you some point. I did it. I pulled out some numbers, and this time it's D1. Oh, D1. Oh, I'm guessing that one wasn't that great for some people. D1 is the points added for this round. And if you put the die there, you are going to pick up, ooh, a 3 again, only 30 points. Boo. 30 points if you had the die there. Okay, let's get to question number 7. On question number 7, you are going to be asked to add these two fractions together. Add 5 over x plus 4 to the fraction 3 over x. Go ahead and pause the video now, and we'll see how you did. Good luck. Okay, to be able to add fractions, you gotta have a common denominator. Common deno. Okay, so here I've got an x plus 4, and I've got an x over here. So this side is missing an x plus 4. So I'm gonna throw an x plus 4 on top and bottom. And this side is missing an x, right? So I'm gonna multiply the top by x. When I do that, I get 5x over x plus 4, plus 3x plus 12, because I'm taking the 3 in, all over x plus 4. I've got a common denominator now. Look, that's the same as this. So now all I have to do is add the tops. 5x plus 3x, that's 8x plus 12, all over x plus 4. And that right there is the answer. So just remember, when you add or subtract fractions, you got to get a common denominator. Okay, let's see how many points. This time I was able to pick out a B and then a 3. B3 is the pointage for this one here. Oh, I hope that brought you lots of math men or math women to your score. Let's see if you had die right there. Let's see how many points you get. Oh, it'll be a lucky roll. Ooh, I rolled a 6. That's 60 points. 60 points if you had the die. Next question, question number 8. Let's go for it. Question number 8 is a word problem. Oh no, word problems. On this test, we will have 2 word problems. Both are working together problems. So make sure you can do this one. Go ahead and pause the video. It's machine 1 can complete the job in 8 hours. Machine number 2 can do it in 6 hours. How long would it take if we put them together and they were able to do the job together? Pause the video and we'll check your answer right after this. Okay, here we go. To do this one, we're going to say 1 over 8, because machine 1 does it in 8 hours, plus 1 over 6, because machine 2 does it in 6 hours, equals 1 over x. So I got an 8 and a 6 on bottom with an x. I need to multiply by the common denominator. Let's see, I'm going to go with 8 times 6 is 48, but 24 goes in. I'm going to do 24x. I'm going to multiply by the common denominator. So 24x, 24x, 24x. I'm multiplying by 24x to everything, because that's going to allow me to kill the denominators. Look, 24 divided by 8, that's 3 with an x. 24 divided by 6, that's 4 with an x. And here the x's cancel out, just leaving me with 24. So 3x plus 4x, that's just 7x equals 24. And when we do 24 divided by 7, it doesn't come out exactly. We do get a decimal 24 over 7, which comes out to be about 3.4 hours. That's the answer for this one right here, the working together formula. Okay, just finished picking out the numbers. This time I picked out C. Oh, this is like Star Wars, total Star Wars. I picked out C3PO. Oh yeah, C3. You're gonna get some points in C3. Add them in. If by chance you had the die, I'm gonna roll it. You picked up 120 points. Whoa! I sure hope you wrote die on C3. That's all right. Hopefully you got some other points. Nice work. Okay, here we go. Question number. Okay, here we go. It's time to solve one of these. Oh yeah, solve 3 over x plus 4 minus 2 over x squared minus 16 equals 1 over x minus 4. Use the rules of solving. Pause the video now and see what you get. Good luck. Okay, here we go. Whenever we're solving, we've got to multiply by the common denominator. Notice that this breaks down to x plus 4, x minus 4. So that's what we're going to multiply everything by. We're going to multiply each fraction by x plus 4, x minus 4. Same here, x plus 4, x minus 4. And same here, x plus 4, x minus 4. I I then can go ahead and cancel. Again, the whole idea is to kill the dinos, kill the denominators. So the x plus 4 kills, both x plus 4 and x minus 4 here kills, and the x minus 4 kills with the x minus 4. So I'm left with 3, x minus 4 minus 2, oh, that's all that's left on that one, equals x plus 4. Okay, not bad. Let's go ahead and distribute the 3 in. That's 3x minus 12 minus 2 equals x plus 4. If I minus the x over, minus the x, that gets me 2x minus 14 equals 4. We're going to add the 14 over. That's 2x equals 18. And when we divide by 2, you should get x equals 9. Don't forget, you should always, once you're done solving, you should always check to make sure you don't get a 0 in the denominator. When I plug a 9 back in there, I don't get a 0, and so therefore this is a solution. 9 does work, and 9's our answer. Yes! Let's see how many points you got. Well, I can't believe it. I can't believe it, but I pulled out a letter and a number, and it's something I've already picked out. Oh no, that can happen in this game. Math Man, I picked out D1 again. D1. No, D1, I hate you. Unless it's good, and then I love you. D1 is what you're going to get points in. Let's see what the die says. The die says you are going to pick up, oh, I just rolled a 17. That's 170 points. If you put die in D1, you just picked up 170 points. Oh, man. Oh, I don't know what that does to people. That might help. That might kill you. We'll see. I don't know. Let's do question number 10 next. Here it is. Last question of our review game. Question number 10. You've got to solve this. This is a tough one. There's going to be one hard one like this on the celebration of knowledge. Go ahead and pause the video now and see what you can do to get this one solved. And unpause it when you're ready to check your answer. Good luck. Okay, so same thing here. We've got to multiply everything by the common denominator. Notice that this is x minus 3, and this has an x minus 3. So we're going to multiply everything by x minus 3. So we'll have to multiply the top by x minus 3. And we're going to multiply this one by x minus 3. And then we'll multiply this by x minus 3. Okay. Let's work on this. Let's see what happens. Now that we've multiplied by the common denominator, we kill the denominators. Let's slice those dice. Slice and dice them. X is gone. X minus 3 is gone. So I'm just left with 2x there. Here, the x minus 3's go away, and I'm just left with x. Here, I'm going to distribute the x in, and I'm left with x squared minus 3x. Okay. So I'm going to have to get everything at 2x minus x. That's just what? X. And so if I minus that x over minus x, I'm left with 0 equals x squared minus 4x. Got to get it equal to 0 so that I can factor it and then set it equal to 0. So if I factor this, I just take out the common x, and I get x minus 4. Okay, good. Now let's set each of those equal to 0. I get x equals 0. And x minus 4 equals 0, so I get x equals 4. I get two answers. I get the answer x equals 0, and I get the answer x equals 4. However, don't forget, we always have to check our answers. Sometimes maybe both will work, sometimes maybe only one works, or sometimes maybe none of them work. If I plug 0 back in over to here, we're going to have some problems. 0 squared minus 3 times 0 is 0. This answer is no good. It's an extraneous answer. If I plug 4 back in, no, 4 is not going to cause a problem. And so 4 is the true solution of this one here. So be aware of that. Be very careful to always check your answers on this celebration of knowledge. Okay, the last letter and number that I picked out of the hat is B1. B1 is the final number, final points you're going to get. Add them up. Go ahead, start working on your total. If you had die written there, let me roll the 20-sided die. It's going to be, a 7. It's going to add 70 points to your score if you got the die. Go ahead and add your total up and let us know how many points you got at the top. You can circle it, and hopefully you got a lot of points. Everybody gets extra credit for playing today, 3 points. But if by chance you are in the highest, if you're the top 2 highest players or the lowest 2 players, yeah, let's do it that way. The top 2 highest players and the 2 lowest players. So if you were in the negatives, maybe you're going to win. Oh, yeah. Go ahead and submit your score and submit your paper. Good luck on the celebration of knowledge. If you have any questions or need to go over anything, feel free to contact me. I'd love to help you. Good luck.